Good morning. Today we'll be flipping through this book. It's called Out and About by Ari Marcopoulos. It's a book I picked up in Tokyo, secondhand. I wasn't familiar with much of his work, although I am familiar with a lot of his subjects. I did read the blurb back here. It basically says that he came to New York in 1979, where he printed photographs for Andy Warhol, and then it says he did take photos of a lot of b-boys and also of the skate culture. I was familiar with a lot of the characters in this book from the movie Kids, by Larry Clark. Anyway, I think most of it is safe for work. And as I say that, I just saw the first page. Okay, let me see if that passes the AI masters, our future masters, which is really getting scary if you're not scared already. Okay, I spoke too soon. Hopefully that didn't get this video flagged already. We will soon find out after I upload this baby. Okay, here we go. If you are a fan of his work, do reach out. Let me know what you think. Are there any other books that you would recommend that I look at? Are there any other photographers? Obviously, the Kids guy, Larry Clark, I did see one of his exhibitions in Tokyo many years ago. And it was very interesting. This particular edition published in 2005. And then it says here, Out and About Diego Cortez, Harmony Korine, and Aaron Rose. Harmony Korine, I'm really familiar with. I know he makes a lot of movies. And I think he also wrote Kids. He has a lot of interesting interviews on late night TV, like with Letterman, where he comes out with a big cigar and just acts up. Anyway, his name's there, I think, because he wrote one of the forwards. Now, these are some of the guys, I think. I mean, they're just... He looks like the guy from Kids. The great Rekim. That's a really cool photo. I'm not really huge on portraiture, but he's got the face here in focus, and the body is blurred. So it must have been a very slow shutter speed. That's very cool. Kind of giving me Richard Avedon vibes with the white bleached background. Cool hair, man. I did grow up on hip-hop music, but I started listening to it in the late 80s and early 90s. So maybe some of these photos were, I think, around that era. It looks like it's, I mean, it said there, didn't it? Yeah, in the 80s. You have a date with death. Think about it. Oh my God. They're cool photos. When I first moved to Japan, I remember I had the option of buying one of these. I thought they were really cool, but I didn't. Okay, this must be when he started making prints for Warhol. I'm sure there's going to be some famous people here. Richard Serra. Guy on the left is Michael Heiser. Not that familiar with him. Gilbert and George. Kiki Smith. Alan Vega. Alan Vega is the guy from Suicide, the band. Which they're a great band if you haven't heard them. Suicide. Peter Haley. Hawley. This is Basquiat. A few more of Basquiat. Keith Haring, and John Cage. I haven't listened to much of John Cage at all. Keith Haring, yeah, I mean, I like his paintings. They're pretty cool. Dennis Hopper. Richard Hambleton. I'm not familiar with that one. Got Miles Davis on the left here, and you got Run DMC on the right, I believe. Jam Master J and Posse. Here's Run DMC. This is the Fat Boys. Love that photo. I love that one also. Look at those chains, man. I do have a Fat Boy CD which I bought secondhand over here. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about the Fat Boys. I should get around to listening to the damn thing. Spoonie G. Stephen Sprouse. These Vans shoes have never really gone out of fashion, have they? Okay, who do you have? This is Public Enemy on the left. I know that's Public Enemy and that's KRS-One. I think KRS-One in the 80s and still around now making great music. They look so young. On the left, Russell Simmons. And on the right, Schoolie D and DJ Cash Money. That's Hello Cool J for sure. That's a great photo. I did buy a Kangol once. I look like a moron. I think I wore it once. I was so embarrassed. I just look so stupid. I'd recommend you think twice before buying a Kangol. Unless you have a good head and the Kangol makes sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. Not to me. That doesn't look like a regular 35mm camera. The cut is a bit different. It looks like 5x7 or something. And pretty detailed photo. These tones are quite flat. I have to say, like, I much prefer the higher contrast than the flatter tones. I don't know, flatter tones are not as engaging for me. I've seen another photo of kid with his hand in his mouth. I don't know where I've seen that. Yeah. Okay, 1989 to 1997. I wouldn't have spotted that. That's Jim Jarmusch. It says here, Dead Man Sound Mix. It's funny they say that because Actually, last Friday I was meant to go watch Dead Man in the cinema here in Tokyo. They're showing it at a small independent cinema in Meguro. But I saw it when it came out, and I just got busy, and I didn't end up going. It says that's Tony Jarmusch. I guess that's his brother. Oh, hopefully that one didn't come on the camera, and hopefully the next one didn't either. That was definitely going to be flagged. Okay. I think he started to take a lot of photos of his pregnant wife. Yep. I'm definitely going to have to skip a few of these pages. Drag racing. I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys. Skaters, 1993 to 1997. I recognize him from kids. I like the tones of his photographs. This period is really interesting. Those colors are great. That's a cool photo as well. I believe I recognize this guy also. I think he took his life not long after kids. I remember reading an article about that. If that's the guy, it's quite a sad story. Took his own life, I should say. That's Harmon Coromine. Harmony Corrine. He looks really younger, doesn't he? If he was that age when he wrote Kids, that's kind of amazing. Here he is again. And that's I'm going to botch her name, Chloe Savini. Oh, God. Terrible botching names. She acted in Kids as well. I'm a little bit scared there's going to be nudity here, so I'm going to be a bit slow. Food photography. I did buy a book on food photography, which was a really strange purchase, but I will flip through it another day because the photographs are actually really good. It's not like cookbook recipe or anything. It's more like famous photographers shooting food. Really strange concept, but I think it works very well. These are cool portraits. I wonder what kind of like conditions he used for these photos. Like, what was the film? Pretty cool. It says Aaron Rose and Mark Gonzalez. I believe is Mark Gonzalez must be the guy, the skater who also does clothes design or cartoons, I guess. I don't know enough about skateboard culture, to be honest. I like the photographs. I like the fashion. I'm not a skateboarder, but I do like the photography from this era. It's really cool. Just the way they dress is awesome. That kid looks young. Far out, it looks young. Okay, but we're getting towards the end here, guys. Let me know what you think about this book. It's a pretty cool book, that's for sure. I love the portraits towards the end here. That's the photographer, I believe. It says Justin and Ari. Let me know what you think about this book. Are you a fan? Are there any other books? Give me a minute. Any other books that you would recommend? It does say here the book is dedicated to Justin Pierce, who's the guy who I mentioned who most probably killed himself. Basquiat, Keenan Milton, Mike Cardona, and Craig Kelly. I believe the other gentleman, unfortunately, I think this guy also passed over. Harold Hunter. Yeah. Okay, that's it, guys. Have a great day.